trial.
Court's back in session.
All right, Jose De Castro, 23 CR 013015.
Good morning, Your Honor. Agnes Botello and Lincoln Cave for the record.
Good morning.
State.
Good morning, Michael Me on behalf of the defendant is present with me here this morning.
So I have signed 2 media requests that permit recording or photographing these proceedings, but I have not granted any other requests to record or live stream these proceedings. So I need Mr. De Castro and everybody else who wants to stay in the courtroom to surrender their phones, or you can leave.
Are your phones open and I'll take one or you can exit?
I need Mr. De Castro to empty all of his pockets.
What's that?
Empty your pockets and give up your phones to the judge.
Okay.
I have to give you my phones?
Yeah,
My phones have to be completely off.
yeah. I don't really want to be part of your YouTube channel. So
You already are.
great,
You already are.
awesome.
I'm not gonna give him to this guy though. I'll give him someone else. I'm
No,
not touching myself.
no, they're going to go to my marshal.
He's a pig.
Excuse me?
I said he's a pig.
Okay. So I'm not going to permit you to speak to anybody in my courtroom in that manner, and if you don't want to apologize, I'm going to hold you in contempt.
I apologize to the court, Your Honor.
No, you can apologize to, they've done nothing to you.
Actually, Your Honor, when you were here, you came over and gave me a directive for no reason and started telling me what to do.
Okay,
I
well,
have all the respect in the world for the court. I follow the rule of law all the time. I
no,
trust
it
you.
is their job to maintain the safety and security of the courtroom.
I agree with you, Your Honor.
So if you want to speak like that in my courtroom, I'm going to hold you in contempt. And if I hold you in contempt, you're going to jail. That is not my wish. Okay?
I wish you would.
All right. So I need you to empty your pockets too. Suit pocket, pants pocket.
This is illegal. This is a violation of my Fourth Amendment.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. I don't have any recording devices on me. What are you talking about?
How about your suit jacket?
I don't have anything on me. This is preposterous.
No, it's
This
not.
really is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Me, your phone too. Off.
They're recording everything.
They have a media request.
Right, and I'm not recording anything. Your guy here took my phone, so his phone's not
All
on.
right.
Make sure it's off. You have to take the lawyer's phone too?
No, I'm not going to take the lawyer's phone. He's an officer of the court. All right. Do we have everybody's phones? Are they off? All right, good. All right. All right, this is the time set for the trial of State of Nevada versus Jose De Castro, 23 CR 013015. Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
How many witnesses do you have?
We anticipate one.
All right, is the defense ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I have your request to convert counsel to standby counsel. I'm going to deny that request. Either you represent him or he should have previously requested a Faretta canvas to represent himself. That I just consider that a delay tactic, so that request is denied. Are you ready to proceed? Otherwise, I'm assuming you are.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, will the state please call the first witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The state calls Brandon Bork, and he's in the anteroom. Follow me all the way to the front.
Morning.
You're going to remain standing. Raise your right hand to be sworn back. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please be seated. State your name for the record and spell it first and last name, please.
It's Brandon Bork. Brandon is Branden, Bork, Bourque.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Sir, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, how are you employed?
I'm a police officer with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
How long have you been employed with Metro?
Just over 8 years.
What is your, what's your occupation there? Like, where are you assigned?
I currently am a field training officer at Summerlin Area Command.
Okay. And so are you a patrol officer
Yes, ma'am.
that also trains newer officers?
Yes.
Okay. Were you employed with Metro? I'm assuming you are, because you've been employed for 8 years, back on March 15th of 2023.
Yes, I was.
Were you a patrol officer at that time?
Yes, I was.
As a patrol officer, do you wear a uniform?
Yes, I do.
Can you describe the uniform?
It would be the same uniform I'm wearing today.
Okay, and so for the record, you're wearing a tan uniform with the logos, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, located throughout your shirt.
Yes.
Okay. As a patrol officer, do you have access to or utilize a marked patrol vehicle?
Yes.
And can you describe what this marked patrol vehicle looks like?
It's black and white in color, and it has the LVMPD's logo on all sides.
Okay. And is it also equipped with like lights and sirens?
Yes.
Okay. And so you were employed as a patrol officer back on March 15th of 2023?
Yes.
At some point in time, did you conduct a traffic stop while you were working in that capacity
Yes, I did.
on that date?
Yes.
Okay. And was that for a vehicle bearing license plate 748Z, like zebra, T like Tom, B like boy?
Yes.
And why did you stop that vehicle?
I had conducted a DMV records check on that license plate, and it came back expired and suspended.
And where is it that you stopped that vehicle?
It was 4155 South Grand Canyon, which was near Target.
Okay. Is that over on Flamingo and Grand Canyon?
Yes.
Okay, and that's here in Las Vegas, Clark County, Nevada, sir?
Yes.
And you indicated it was for a license plate that was expired and suspended?
Yes.
So when you initiated the traffic stop, what did you do, or how did you do that?
I approached the driver, let her know the reason for the stop, and obtained her identifying information, registration, insurance.
Okay, and I forgot to ask you earlier, but pursuant to your uniform and as a patrol officer, are you equipped with a body worn camera?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and do you also have a radio?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and are those items, both the body worn camera and the radio, on your uniform today?
Yes, they are.
Okay, and is that how the body worn camera and or the radio were on your uniform back on March 15th of 2023?
Yes.
Okay. And to your knowledge, was your body worn camera functioning at that time?
Yes, it was functioning.
Okay. And so you made contact with the driver of that Hyundai?
Yes, I did.
How would you characterize the nature of your encounter, or the nature of your encounter with that driver?
She was cooperative with me. I explained the reason for the stop. She seemed confused, not sure exactly how it had become suspended. But she was friendly and cooperative with me.
Okay, and she identified herself?
She did. She had a picture of her license on her phone.
Okay. And at some point, sir, did you go back to your patrol vehicle to further your investigation?
I did.
And as you were, let me ask you this. When you effectuated the traffic stop on this vehicle, where did you park or stop your vehicle in relation to the Hyundai that you were stopping?
I parked approximately 10, 15 feet behind the stopped vehicle. We ended up in a parking lot.
Okay. And was the driver the sole occupant of the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you returned to your patrol vehicle to conduct your further investigation, was the driver within eyesight?
Yes, she was.
Okay. And is it your habit and custom and also your training to keep the individual that you are, dealing with within eyesight?
Yes.
And so at some point while you were still in your vehicle, in your patrol vehicle, did something occur that's causing you to have to testify before Judge Zimmerman today?
Yes, I had an unrelated person come over to start recording the traffic stop.
Okay. And we talked about your body-worn camera previously, but did you activate your body-worn camera prior to the traffic stop?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Or, just before you initiated the traffic stop?
I initiated the stop and then I immediately activated my camera.
Okay. And how is it that body-worn camera is activated on your uniform, sir?
I have a battery pack that's on my belt in the front, and I press the activation button, which is in the front.
Okay. And so is it just a tap of that activation button?
It's a double tap on the front, yes.
Okay. And how is it that you would stop recording?
I would hold down that same power button.
Okay,
Or it can be turned off. There's a toggle switch on the top that slides on and off.
okay. Okay, and so your body worn camera was running as of, the stop, the traffic stop being initiated?
Yes.
Okay. And so you described an unrelated individual coming over to, your stop?
Yes.
Okay, can you describe this individual?
He was a white male adult. He was wearing a bright colored hoodie and blue jeans.
Okay. That individual, do you see him here in court today?
Yes, I do.
Can you please point to him and describe something he's wearing?
He's wearing a suit and a blue tie.
Your Honor, please let the record reflect identification of the defendant.
So ordered.
And so, what do you do upon seeing this individual approach the driver of the vehicle you had stopped?
Initially, when I saw him, he was just recording. I ignored him and continued my records check. Then when he came over to the driver and started speaking with them, I got out of the car, approached the driver, and told DeCastro to back up.
Okay. When you first noticed, so you identified the unknown or unrelated male subsequently, correct?
Yes.
And what was his name?
Jose DeCastro?
Okay. And that's the individual you identified here in court?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you first laid eyes on the defendant, approximately how far away was he from the driver of the vehicle in the Hyundai?
Approximately somewhere within 5 to 10 feet.
Okay. And you indicated that he was recording?
Yes.
Okay. What did you see that led you to believe he was recording?
He had his cell phone camera pointed directly at me.
Okay. And so is that when, upon seeing him being that close to the driver, is that when you told him, you walked up to the driver of the stopped vehicle and asked Mr. DeCastro to back up?
Yes, once he started talking with the driver.
Okay. And why is it that you did that, officer?
Well, I can't have unrelated people next to my traffic stops. I don't know if he's a dangerous person, armed. He could be a boyfriend of the stopped person. It's for my safety and the safety of the person I've stopped.
Okay. Because you're also in charge of the safety of the individual that this unrelated individual is making contact with. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And so you saw it as an officer safety issue as well as a safety issue for the driver?
Yes.
Okay. And so when you approached, well, you said he was recording, the defendant was recording. At any time, did you tell him to stop recording?
No. In fact, I told him he can continue recording.
Okay. He can continue to record given what?
As long as he backed up and gave me an appropriate distance to work.
Okay. And so when you asked the defendant to back up, did he follow your order?
No, he did not.
Okay. And so what did you do next?
I gave him 3 additional warnings to back up.
Okay. And did he obey those orders?
No, he did not.
And what, if anything, did you do with the driver of the stopped vehicle, the Hyundai?
At that point, I chose to release the driver of the Hyundai and then focus my attention on Jose DeCastro.
Okay. And for the record, officer, at that point in time, were you the only uniformed officer or the only officer present at the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
And so at this point, you were dealing with the stop driver as well as an unrelated individual and having to make contact or maintain visual of both?
Yes.
And at that point, the defendant was not being cooperative?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So you release the driver of the Hyundai. What do you tell that person to let her go?
I just said that she was free to go, simply.
And subsequently, did you turn your attention on the defendant?
Yes.
And can you tell Judge Zimmerman the nature of your interaction with the defendant after that?
I ordered DeCastro to the front of my patrol vehicle while pointing at it and told him that he was detained.
Okay. And what was the purpose of detaining him?
For obstructing my initial traffic stop at the Hyundai.
Okay. And did he obey your lawful order?
No, he did not.
And what happened next?
He continued filming me. I continued pointing toward my patrol vehicle, continued telling him he was detained. All the while, he just continued shifting his body around, recording me on the phone, and refusing to go to the car.
Okay. So what did you do in response?
I used my hand to escort him to the patrol vehicle. So I placed my hand on his shoulder, and at that point, he swatted my hand away.
And what happened next?
That's when I grabbed him by the shirt, and I spun him around, and then we ended up at the front of my patrol vehicle. We were both still standing.
At some point, did you request additional units to respond to the scene?
I did, that was before I grabbed him,
Okay.
when I initially detained him.
Okay. And, I'm sorry, once you had him at your patrol vehicle, or the front, the hood of your patrol vehicle, what happened next?
Officer Dingley, another officer in the area, had arrived, and he came over to help me handcuff him.
Okay. And were you successful, or did the defendant cooperate in being handcuffed?
He did not cooperate. I told him 7 times to face my patrol vehicle. He did not listen. I told him 6 times to turn around. He did not listen. It wasn't until I told him that he was going to go to jail, that was the consequence of not listening, that he allowed us to handcuff.
Okay. And after he was handcuffed, but when he was handcuffed, was it just you and Officer Dingle present?
Yes.
Okay. Once he was handcuffed, what, if anything, happened next?
He continued to argue with my partners, Officer Dingley and some other officers that were starting to show up. And then I focused my roles in completing the report and calling the sergeant because he requested a supervisor.
Okay. And at some point, was he arrested for account of obstructing a public officer?
Yes.
And also for resisting a public officer or resisting arrest?
Yes.
And was he, at any point in time during your interaction with him or your continued visual of his interaction with other officers, did he cooperate with any of the officers present at the scene?
No, he kept shifting around, and normally we have people stand still in front of our car, and I could hear him arguing with the other officers.
You indicated you had your body-worn camera turned on at this time.
Yes.
Did you have an opportunity to look at your body-worn camera prior to court today?
Yes, I did.
Okay. If I were to show you a snippet of it, and Your Honor, we're going to be screen sharing through Zoom. Takes a minute. Okay. Officer, are you able to see, there's not a screen over there, so I might have to bring mine over to you with the court's permission.
Okay.
Okay. Officer, I'm showing you my computer screen. Is it fair to say that what's being shared on the screen as well as what's showing up on my computer screen are 2 files, one labeled 416B.mp4, the other one labeled 468, number sign 1.mp4.
Yes.
Okay. I am just gonna, and for the record, Your Honor, all body-worn camera footage have been disclosed to the defense well in advance of today's trial. I'm gonna just show you a brief snippet of the one labeled 468 underscore number sign 1.mp4. Do you recognize what's depicted here?
Yes, this is the initial Hyundai that I had stopped on the traffic stop.
Okay, and so do you recognize this particular file as the body-worn camera of your interaction, first with the Hyundai and then the defendant on March 15th of 2023?
Yes,
Okay. And does this show the time that you activated your camera?
yes,
Okay. Similar to what you testified to earlier?
yes,
And you've had an opportunity to see this entire, like, 12 and a half minute long video, is that right?
yes,
Does it fairly and accurately depict the traffic stop and also your interaction with the defendant on the date and time that we've been discussing,
yes,
at the location that we've been discussing?
yes,
Okay, Your Honor, I move to admit and subsequently publish the file labeled 468 underscore number sign 1.mp4.
Spence?
No objection.
Will be admitted and published.
Thank you. And let me just join up. Very loud.
Officer Ross Metro, please call you over. Is your registration expired and also suspended? On a vehicle, usually suspend license plates for insurance. It doesn't give you a reason why, but it is suspended. Did you switch insurances or?
Yeah, it's the microphone. Your Honor, permission to just put it up here,
Yep.
away from the microphone.
You have to call the DMV. They'll give you the specific reason why it was suspended, and then you just have to correct it through them. But anyway, that's the reason why I'm calling you over. The registration is expired and suspended. You're welcome. Well, your registration, it doesn't go to auto payment. Every year you have to sign on to the website to pay it. You probably just forgot to do that. Dave Roberts, 11 Street, Roberts, so please come in for 16B, 5130, South Florida County. Third only one to copy from the fire call, 3 Roberts, Durango, 1 Street. Call for a single in the parking lot at Green over Model Street. Document by Tupac, refusing the lady they want to check back, there's Control Center, Robert 114. I'm Robert 11. 735, Victor 790 Meadow, from Northeast. I'm Robert 11.
I'm going to pause it at timestamp 9 minutes and 16 seconds. At this point, officer, do you see the unrelated male that you've been talking about enter camera view?
Yes, I do.
And could you just point to where he is in the video on my screen?
Yes, he's right here.
And let the record reflect he identified a male wearing like a light colored blue jacket towards the middle of the screen. And is this the individual that you have been talking about, the defendant here today?
Yes.
Okay. Continue.